there, it's Tracy Daviero from Your VA Mentor. Thanks so much for being with me here today. Today we're talking about networking and what to do in a networking conversation. Many of the VAs that I know are admittedly introverts. We are happy behind our computers. We are happy to, communicate via email and that kind of thing. And that's probably okay whenever you're running a business and when you're running a service business, an admin service business, and you have, your clients are on the other side of the city or the other side of the world. It's totally okay to work like that. But in order to get clients, we really need to do some networking, and whether that's online or offline, live or on social media, it's really important to know what networking means and how we can make it easier, because it's not about getting out there and seeing your 1-minute infomercial. I absolutely dread the whole thought of a 1-minute infomercial. I've been to so many meetings where people stand up and they ramble on for a minute and they try to cram everything that they do into that little speech, and it drives me bananas. And sometimes it's effective. It depends on who you are and what your services are. But when you're talking about being a VA, it's really more important for me to be able to have conversations with people that are meaningful. And so the way to do that is to ask questions, okay? So you want to be able to ask a lot of really good questions in a networking conversation. First of all, it does two things. It takes the pressure off of you, because when people come up to me and they say, oh, a virtual assistant, or what do you do? They'll say lots of times I'm got, my name tag on, or I've got a booth or something. And so they'll say, what is a virtual assistant? Or they'll say to me, what do you do? And I'll say to them, I'm a virtual assistant. What do you do? And I turn it right back around to them, because although they're interested in the VA industry, usually they don't want to be one. So I don't need to talk about what it is and that kind of thing. They're standing in front of me because they maybe think that they might be able to use one. And the only way that I know if I can help them or not is to start asking them questions. So I say to them, what do you do? And then the conversation moves to, well, I'm a financial analyst, or I'm a travel agent, or whatever it is that they do. And then I can start asking them real questions about what it is that they need help with, if they need help with anything, or when you have a conversation and you get sort of to the guts of it, and it's back and forth, and it's relevant to them because it's about their business, you're talking specifically, asking them questions, it makes it a lot easier for them to remember and when they're talking to somebody else. And so one of a speaking coach that I know, Steve Lowell, always says, it's not enough for someone to remember what it is you do. It's more important for them to be able to repeat it to others later. And I'm totally paraphrasing, and I should even give him credit, because you probably go, that's not it, but that's essentially the message. I'll look it up, I'll find it for another video. But it's more important that they can repeat it, when you're not there. And so the way to do that is be able to make it conversational. Everybody remembers the details of, conversations that happened with them in terms of networking, instead of just a 1-minute infomercial that's blasted at them. So ask them, what do they do for their business or for their business? How do they get help with the things that they need help with? Do they need general admin help? Do they need marketing help? Do they need social media or website or blogging, or what are the things that they need or they're looking to get help with? Bookkeeping, there's a million things, right? And ask them, have they gotten help like that before? Have they worked with someone before, or are they doing it all themselves in their business? As you start to have a conversation and they answer the questions, you can move to more questions that can help you assess whether you can even help them, and be able to have a real valid conversation. Say, oh yeah, I've helped clients do that before. And you can explain then how, you took their newsletter, or you took their mailing list and you put it online and you connected it to their website, and you now send out a regular newsletter for them, and the client, is getting a bigger mailing list to do their marketing to. There are ways to be able to talk to people about things, and questions is the number one thing. So I hope that helps you today. It's just a little tip, but I think it's a really good one, and it's not one that comes to mind very often for VAs. They get really paralyzed by the networking thing. So go to your next networking event and plan to ask questions to everybody, and then figure out if you can help them. And if you can't, then you move along. And then if you can, have a conversation and talk to them about your services. You'll really, really find it a better way to do your networking. Thanks very much. I'll see you next time. Take care.